Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. And thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out from Ukraine to share with you, and we're also going to be talking about the Crimean Peninsula and Sevastopol, which is the largest city in Crimea, that just came under attack actually from U.S. Atacms. So we had reports coming out today that U.S. Atacms fired by Ukraine detonated over a beach in northern Sevastopol, in a beach nearby that city. And we've got hundreds of people that have been injured. I think I've got 124 people injured in the shelling, 27 of them being children. Two children actually lost their lives. We've got three people, unfortunately, that were killed in this attack, two of them being children, and one, I believe, was an adult. And we've got five other people that are in very serious condition. There's lots of video footage like what you see here. These are people that were a little bit further away from the attack, but you could hear the Atacms come in. I'll show you a video here in just a minute. When it comes in and it explodes mid-air, because actually what was used here was cluster munitions, and cluster warheads are different compared to your standard, just ballistic missile warhead, where what happens is these things explode mid-air, and it'll disperse a bunch of smaller bomblets that land all over the ground and explode, and cause mass damage to to infantry or just people on the ground. They're mainly designed for infantry, not so much for vehicles or buildings or anything like that. So this was used near this beach, apparently. I don't know exactly what the target was here, but we've got reports that 4 out of the 5 Atacms missiles that were fired in this area were actually shot down, and one of them detonated over this beach. Okay, and so that's how we had so many people that were injured in this attack, is again, these were cluster munitions from what we understand. So I've got lots of stuff to go over here with you today, but first I want to show you the video footage from this attack. It's just a 7-second clip, what you see here, but I want to show you the actual sound so you can hear these cluster munitions go off whenever the attack comes in. So let me get this up for you, and let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Okay, so just before everybody starts running away here, you can clearly hear those cluster munitions exploding mid-air, and then you can hear all the other bomblets starting to fly out. You'll hear a lot of like those kinds of sounds like that, and that's all those bomblets coming out of this Atacms and landing all over the place. And I think just right here too, when I was looking closely, you can actually see just right there, might be a little hard for you to see on the screen, but you can see one of the bomblets landing over here in the water just beyond this guy's head right here. And you can't see it just prior to that. When you scroll back a little bit, look, there's no splash in the water there. And just a little bit further back, or when you roll forward, you can see that explosion there. And when you roll it, you can actually see multiple other ones there landing just beyond that guy's head. So pretty crazy. Right there, and you can see some that pop up over here on the right side of his head, this guy in the white shirt as well. Might be kind of hard to see. It happens really quickly. But yeah, apparently from what we understand, these were Atacms ballistic missiles that were given to Ukraine by the United States and fitted with cluster munitions. Okay, so very big news. Lots of stuff that I want to be going over here with you today. So I want to go ahead and get right into this and share some more information. We've got a report here on Reuters. Russia says U.S. is responsible for deadly Ukrainian attack on Crimea. So that's another big thing here, is that Russia is blaming the United States that they were responsible for this attack, considering it was their weaponry. And they're saying here they're going to respond to this. That's another big thing. There's going to be a response from Russia. We'll have to see what that is. And they're calling this a terrorist attack against the people of Sevastopol. So it says right here, Russia said on Sunday that the United States was responsible for a Ukrainian attack on the Russian annexed Crimean Peninsula with 5 U.S. supplied missiles that attacked at least 5 people, including 3 children, and injured 124 more. Isn't that crazy? Over 100 people were injured in this attack. The Russian Defense Ministry said 4 of the U.S. delivered Army Tactical Missile System, or Atacms missiles, equipped with cluster warheads were shot down by air defense systems, and the ammunition of a 5th had detonated in mid-air. United States ministry said U.S. specialists had set the missiles' flight coordinates on the basis of information from U.S. spy satellites, meaning Washington was directly responsible. So, because they're stating here that the U.S. had set the missiles' flight coordinates, so the U.S. was directly involved in targeting this area, they set the flight coordinates for these missiles to tell them where to detonate at, is kind of what they're saying. Responsibility for the deliberate missile attack on the civilians of Sevastopol is borne above all by Washington, which supplied these weapons to Ukraine, and by the Kiev regime, from whose territory this strike was carried out. So he's not only blaming the United States, but they're also blaming Ukraine as well for firing this from their territory. United States began supplying Ukraine with longer-range Atacms missiles, which have a 300-kilometer range, earlier this year. Reuters was unable to immediately verify battlefield reports from either side. Television footage on Russian state television showed people running from a beach and some people being carried off on sun loungers. I did see that video footage of this, but unfortunately I think it's a little too graphic to show you that here on YouTube, but that was true. I did see that. Russian-installed authorities in Crimea said missile fragments had fallen just after noon near a beach on the north side of the city of Sevastopol, where locals were holidaying. So these people were literally just hanging out on the beach, relaxing, and all of a sudden Atacms missiles with cluster munitions start coming in and landing all over people in the beach. Very terrible report here to have to bring to you guys, but this is something that happened today. At least 124 were injured. Russia's health minister Mikhail Murashko said the injured included 27 children, 5 of whom are in serious condition. So many of these were even kids that were just playing at the beach. Russia vows a response. Russia will respond to Sunday's attack, the defense ministry said, without elaborating. The Kremlin said President Vladimir Putin has been in constant contact with the military since the attack on Sevastopol. Neither Ukraine nor the United States has commented on the attack, which came on a day when Ukraine said 1 person had been killed and 10 others wounded by Russian strikes on the eastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv. I reported that yesterday. Major missile attack in the middle of the city of Kharkiv. We had bunch of people that were injured and killed in that attack as well. Russia annexed Crimea in 2014 and now views the Black Sea Peninsula it as an integral part of its territory, though most of the world still considers it as part of Ukraine. Putin has repeatedly accused the U.S. of using Ukraine to undermine Russia's own security, something Kiev and the Western allies deny, and has warned of growing risk of direct confrontation between Moscow and U.S.-led NATO alliance. Putin sent tens of thousands of troops into Ukraine on February 24, 2022 in what he cast as a defensive move against a hostile and aggressive West. Ukraine and the West say Russia's waging an imperial-style war of aggression and a land grab. It's very crazy what's happening over here, guys. Absolutely insane news to hear this attack here in Sevastopol. If I don't, like I said, I don't know exactly what the target was here. But these were cluster munitions that were used, apparently, from what we're seeing in the footage and what's being reported, is that considering this was cluster munitions, this is used to take out infantry, okay, people on the ground. If this was a deliberate attack on the beach, this could look really bad on the United States as well, and also Ukraine. So maybe more information will come out on this soon. We don't have all the information just yet, as this is breaking at this time. But that's the latest that I have for you on this attack. But I've got one more thing to show you here. We also had some reports just coming out right now, too, that there's been a terrorist attack inside of Russia in an area called Dagestan. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. There was I think it was a Jewish synagogue, from what I was hearing, that was attacked in this area of Russia by some terrorists or something. There's some terrorist attacks going on. We've had like multiple police officers that were killed. And apparently, too, I'm hearing there's a bunch of people that are held hostage, up to like 40 people held hostage at a synagogue in Russia. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then also a response here. This is from Splinter Family, but this is talking about Deputy Chairman of the Russian Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev. Okay, it says here, on the terrorist attack in Crimea and shooting in Dagestan. So the shooting in Dagestan is what I'm talking about. That information is just breaking right now, too. It's literally still playing out right now. I think the police there and the military forces are on the ground trying to rescue the people that are being held hostage in Dagestan as well. This is something that's just coming out now. So this is a report from Dmitry Medvedev, so let's get right into this. The BTARDs, I'm not going to say that word, from the USA supply missiles with cluster charges to the Banderites and help them guide them to the target. The BTARDs in Kiev select a beach with peaceful people as a target and press the button. Both will burn in HELL. I hope not only in a sacred fire, but even earlier in earthly fire. Everything that happened was not military action, but a vile terrorist attack against our people committed on an Orthodox holiday, just like the massacre in Dagestan, which was carried out by extremists. Therefore, now all of them, the American authorities, the Bandera regime, and crazy fanatics, are no different for us. So he's saying that basically America, along with Ukraine, they're all terrorists, basically, is what Russia's considering here, or at least Dmitry Medvedev is saying. And obviously, Russia's defense ministry came out and said that this was a terrorist attack in Sevastopol. So again, this is just getting worse and worse by the day. And it's just really a matter of time here before something really pops off. And I think at some point, Russia's going to respond heavily. Okay, I don't know exactly what they will do. I think many people are speculating what could happen here. Hopefully this doesn't ever turn into a nuclear war or some major conflict between NATO and Russia. But it's just, again, it's getting worse by the day. Every single time we continue to hear worse and worse reports of just lots of innocent people being attacked here, just like this terrible report here of this Sunday attack in the Sevastopol region at this beach. So yeah, it's just it's getting worse, guys. So I hope you're prepared for anything to happen. And it really seems like over the last few days leading up to the last week, these wars have just really started to kick off like crazy all around the world. We've got lots of reports as well that Israel's going to be going after Hezbollah here very soon. I've been talking a lot about that. So it's just a matter of time before things just really, the stuff hits the fan, if you know what I mean. And it's crazy. So that's why I want to keep you all informed and what's going on out here, because it's just getting crazier and crazier by the day. So that's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.